Arias is on the doorstep. These guys are 21 years old, and they're getting ready to play in a major league, guys. Okay? So that's what I'm talking. Logan Allen, 21.9, is the sixth youngest player. Okay? Um, the influx of youth into these teams is going to help them in the long run. It's going to help them when the second and third wave of prospects going to come up, because these young kids are going to be poised leaders from having been in the system for a while. So in AAA again for the Braves, well, let's start in the majors. In the majors for the Braves, you got, of course, Bryce Wilson. He's been up and down. 21.3 is the third youngest player in the majors. Ronald Acuna, also 21.3, third youngest. And Ozzie Albies at 22.8 is the eighth youngest player in the National League. Okay? At the time of this article again. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. Man, the Braves are loaded, guys. Let's talk about these guys. Bryce Wilson, I mentioned. Mike Soroka at 21.7 is the fifth youngest player in the National League. Mike Riley at 22.0 is the sixth youngest player in the National League. Guys, this is an embarrassment of riches. Okay? So, you might say, all right, well, what are some of the other guys that are in that? There's got to be some other names in there. True, granted, there are. There are definitely other names that would catch your eye, right? So, just looking at it, Juan Soto at 20.4 in the major leagues. Victor Robles, 21.9. In the American League, you got Devers is impressive, 22.4. You got a lot of youth. Willie Adames is only 23.6 years old. Adalberto Mondesi, 23.7. So it's across the league, guys. You're seeing these guys quicker, okay? In the AAA, here's some names of note, okay? Isaac Paredes is the third base prospect from Detroit. He's the second youngest guy in Double-A at 20.1 years old, okay? Andres Jimenez is a shortstop for the Met at 20.6. He's the third youngest. Just some guys to kind of keep in mind as you're going down through this. How about Double-A? Double-A is where it really starts to show through. The Braves are absolutely loaded in Double-A, guys. Drew Waters, 20.3 years old, youngest. Christian Pache, 20.4 years old, second youngest. Ian Anderson, 20.9 years old, fourth youngest. Kyle Muller, here's the guy that's starting to get some. Kyle Muller, left-handed pitcher for the Braves at 21.5 years old, the eighth youngest player in the Southern League, okay? So, it's just littered throughout the organization. It's clear what they're trying to do, and they're successful at doing it. Guys, you're talking about dynasties in San Diego and in Atlanta if this continues the way it goes. Just kind of think about that when you're building your teams for the futures, okay? I got 10 minutes. I think Lenny's coming on next, so I do want to talk about some free agents, some guys who are worthy of discussing. I'll start first with no real priority order, but I think it's important. Renato Nunez, guys, I didn't talk about him earlier, but he's certainly having a heck of a year. He's only 47% owned, so he might be owned in your league. Don't worry, I'll get to some guys that aren't if you're in deeper leagues. 259 on the year, 15 homers, 31 runs, and 35 RBIs. But guys, over the last 14 days, Nunez is hitting 383, 8 homers, 13 runs, and 16 RBIs. He's certainly hot right now. He is someone you could pick up and put in your starting lineup with confidence until he cools off. I mentioned him earlier, Nico Goodrum, 234, 6, 30 runs, 18 RBIs, 4 stolen bases. But in the last 14 days, he's hit 309 with 3 homers, 13 runs, 6 RBIs, and 1 stolen base. Only 25% owned. Nico Goodrum is someone worth rostering. Talked about Garrett Cooper. I'm just going to say, at 2% owned, that is ridiculously low. Well documented what's going on with Cooper. He came up, he had a thumb injury. He was going to be there every day, I believe, right fielder until that thumb injury happened. Then he struggled after that. But in the last 2 weeks, he has seemed to have found his groove. He is hitting .314, 4 home runs, 13 runs, and 11 RBIs. Garrett Cooper is a priority ad, in my opinion. He is one of those young Marlins who are starting to find their comfort zone in Miami. Okay? The next guy, Christian Stewart, 2% owned. Again, an injury sidelined this guy. He's hitting .241 on the year, 4 homers, 13 runs, 20 RBIs. But in the last 2 weeks, he's hitting .348, 1 homer, 6 runs, 6 RBIs. Guys, I don't have stats on this guy because I didn't plan on talking about stats. But if you need stolen bases, go pick up Miles Straw. I have Gary Hampson on this list, but he's disappointed us once already. Why not take a chance on Straw? He has elite speed. All he needs is an opportunity. He could steal you 3 bases any night of the week. It's just about opportunity. Houston at the time has the opportunity. Why not take a chance on this kid, right? Back to the youth movement in San Diego. Josh Naylor at 26% owned, hitting .333 on a year, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 18 runs, 13 RBIs. But in the last 2 weeks, hitting .400 with 2 homers, 12 runs, and 9 RBIs. Josh Naylor, again, part of the youth movement. Left-handed bat, which San Diego needs desperately. This guy is going to get to play. Just a few more guys, and then I'll get on out of here. Devin Smeltzer, 3% owned. Certainly impressed last time out. He's on in the background. It looks like he has the lead here. He's certainly someone, he's not a fireball pitcher, but he definitely has control and command. Someone of a worthy ad. I haven't heard this guy's name mentioned much. Alex Reyes looks like he's going to take his role as a starter in the St. Louis rotation. I posted the article from CBS Sports. Next weekend, they say. This is from Sunday. So look for Alex Reyes. He is just 26% owned. This is a guy that can be an impact arm. If he is available, you should try and make an effort to get him. Another guy who's a little bit more widely owned, but worth mention still, is Nick Pivetta. His last time out, as we all know, he got demoted early in the year. Got called back up, gave up, I think, 3 runs in his first time back up. But last time out against the Dodgers in L.A., looked like the Nick Pivetta we all expected. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 walks, and 9 Ks. Nick Pivetta is a very interesting ad, and at just 37% owned, he is ascending. I know I looked Sunday, I believe it was, he was at 30%. So he is definitely moving up the boards quickly, as they say. So go look and see if Pivetta's out there. So, you're listening to Chaps Fantasy Chat. I'm Chappy. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all listening to me. Please give me feedback, what I can do, what you want to see. As always, I love bantering with you guys. Join me and Arnie coming up at 9 o'clock. We got some really good stuff. We're going to talk about trade prospects and the art of making a trade. We're going to talk about ascending players and all kinds of other cool stuff. So, again, Chaps Fantasy Chat, Tuesdays at 7. Chappy and Arnie Baseball, Tuesdays at 9. You're listening to Lenny Melnick, FantasySportsNetwork.com. Thank you all. Have a good night. Peace.